to the EpicVerse Podcast, where curiosities and theories run wild about the strange and spectacular and everything in between. And now, your hosts, JosiahRises, Benjamin, and Epic Mike.
And we are back once again. The boys are back.
The
squad has dropped into the map.
Backstreet's back, all right?
Here we are. Speaking of map, I just got to bring this up right off the bat, okay?
Okay.
Before we get into anything, we're going to raw dog this because I have something I got to bring up.
I do like that.
Have you played the stinking Kong versus Godzilla mode on?
I have, actually.
It's terrible. Anyway.
It is, it's a mode.
It is definitely a mode.
Yeah. It's something, all right.
I will say, King Kong and Godzilla, they looked cool for like the first 5 minutes, and then after that, it was like, okay, I'm kind of over this now.
I actually think the design is really cool. I just wish it was more.
And on a better map. But
I mean, regardless of that fact, I was popping off yesterday playing that event.
Nice.
That was good, but the event was very underwhelming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're here. It's me, Josiah, with Mike and Ben. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm
doing. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing a lot of things. Doing good. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything exciting happening, Ben?
I just got feedback from 3 alpha readers over the last 2 days, which is fantastic.
For the book.
Or beta readers, I should say.
The book.
But yeah, and they have now convinced me that there's a whole section of the first book that just needs to be chopped off and put as the beginning of the second book, which is what I was originally going to do. And now that it's been tested with readers, they're like, okay, well, this is what needs to happen. So,
well, there you go.
Yeah,
nice.
So now, because I chopped off that section, I've got 90 pages of the second book written. Technically.
Well, there you go.
Just, man, look at me out of the game.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
But that makes it easier to edit the first one. So
yeah. Well, the ball's rolling. That's great.
Yeah, ball's rolling. It's fantastic. People are liking it from what I understand, which is good.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll continue to keep people updated about that as you continue to make progress and all that. And
yeah.
Mike, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going real good. Just chilling, living the dream,
Chilling like a villain.
Is that a Sonic
like a villain
t-shirt?
It is.
It is a Sonic t-shirt.
Fantastic.
I'm not going to plug my friend's shop on this show.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't. I just wondered if it was a Sonic shirt because I saw the little rings. It was either that or a SpaghettiOs shirt. I couldn't tell, but that was from what I could see up here. That's what it looked like.
It's okay.
SpaghettiOs aren't too bad.
Nah, SpaghettiOs are
every once in a while they just kind of hit the right.
Sometimes when you really want crappy pasta, you can get some SpaghettiOs. It's like when you want really bad Mexican, so you go get Taco Bell.
What?
It's like,
Taco Bell's not bad.
It's
Taco
pretty. It's pretty
Taco Bell
trash.
slaps.
I didn't say it didn't slap, especially at certain times.
If it slaps, then it's not bad.
No, it really is. It really is.
If
bad.
it slaps, it's good.
It's really bad.
They're bringing back the taco, the Mexican pizza.
Wow, I never had that originally, so I don't really care that they're bringing.
Oh,
that was never a thing for me.
Well,
yeah. You're the only Taco Bell. Here where you're part of the Taco Bell cult.
What are you talking about? I love Taco Bell.
Mike's definitely part of the Taco Bell cult.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah.
Mike's part of it too, but apparently he didn't have the Mexican pizza, so.
Well, no. What is it now? They have the beefy something burrito or whatever.
Beefy crunch, is it? It's like beefy crunch or something?
I wish they had the beefy crunch.
5-layer. They brought the 5-layer burrito back, which is chef's kiss.
No, it's another one. It's like
they always have something going on with the menu, so.
Yeah, well, they're always changing something.
Nacho fries are hot too. Nobody wants to hear us talk about this.
You don't know that.
The real question is, do aliens like Taco Bell? When the alien takeover happens, will Taco Bell still be standing?
Yeah.
They'll probably judge it and deem it worthy.
Isn't there a I feel like I've heard of that before. There's like a movie or a show out there where it's like in the future where like it's apocalyptic apocalyptic, but like Taco Bell's like the only thing that's still standing or something like that.
That's
what is that?
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Of course, it's Taco Bell.
Like, well, yeah,
of course.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be
so many
Bell?
Preservatives? It'll even preserve itself throughout the end of the world.
I don't know what your hatred of Taco Bell is about, Ben.
Mike, I just said that I will absolutely eat Taco Bell at specific
you said
times.
It was bad.
It is.
No.
Everything else will be leveled in the future,
and Taco Bell will just be like,
it'll just be standing there.
Because Taco Bell like smacks
an erect monument of glory.
Yeah. You know what I also hope is also in the future, even after the apocalypse.
What's that?
Bigfoot.
Wow, Mike! What a transition!
Whoa! You know what else is a giant ape? Bigfoot.
Yeah, you know what else is a giant ape? King Kong.
Yeah.
Well, I was referencing the King Kong thing that we talked about. Because King Kong is
so I just took
the other giant ape. You know what else is a giant ape?
See,
so Taco Bell.
What other giant ape would I have been referencing, Ben?
So basically, if we use math, Taco Bell plus King Kong equals Bigfoot.
Absolutely, dude. That's exactly right. King Kong shrinks. King Kong shrinks to like a human size because he ate Taco Bell.
None of that equals out at all. There's no math equation there.
I don't know. Maybe he crapped so much of his guts out it shrunk him.
That's quick math.
This is bad math.
Is that like how hippos are related to whales?
No, that's called science, Ben.
Got him.
It's fake.
Listen, I didn't make that up. It's science. I don't know what to tell you.
It's fake. It's fake. Now, the only way I'll believe it is if for some reason...
It's about as real as you sitting there saying you like Taco Bell and then saying it's bad.
Mike,
it makes no sense.
Mike,
wow, this is terrible, but I love it.
The only way that will ever make sense is if in this documentary that I'm going to watch in like 1 week on Apple TV Plus, if they say something about whales being related to hippos, then I might believe it. But if they don't say it, it's not true.
You have to go to Apple TV Plus to get your opinions.
I got to watch a documentary narrated by David Attenborough to actually believe that.
Wow.
Nonsense.
I mean, his voice is pretty convincing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's
I guess it's weird. I guess you shouldn't, believe anything before he's done any documentaries.
Exactly.
What is he British? What is he?
I think he is British. Let's find out. We'll do a quick Google. David Attenborough.
He might be kind of like quasi-British.
He is an English broadcaster, biologist, natural historian, and author. Dude, man is freaking
96
years old.
Oh my goodness.
96. What a long and crazy life, dude. Yeah. Wow. And he still sounds like an absolute legend.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't sound as cool with the last trailer for this thing.
Wow,
but,
all right. Well, you know what? Y'all are just haters.
Because he's old as frick.
Dude, that guy is freaking ancient. He was born in 1926.
That's crazy. Dang.
What a mad lad.
Was he in World War II? Was he old enough to... No, I guess he wasn't old enough to be in World War II yet.
Yeah, no, he would have been a teenager.
He would have been like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably not. But he lived it, obviously.
Unless he snuck in the war, which, there was some of that going on.
He definitely lived it. I wonder if during his journeys across war-struck Europe, if he saw Bigfoot anywhere.
I was actually just about to ask that. I was like,
that was a terrible
segue.
I still better than what you pulled out of your butt.
No, it wasn't. I didn't pull anything out of my butt, man.
I don't know, man.
Are there Bigfoot stories from World War II? This is the important question.
That's a great question.
For Vietnam. We did a whole episode about
Yes. Yeah. Ben didn't believe any of that either. He was like, I don't believe any of this.
I don't think that's real. I think those soldiers and other PTSD doesn't matter.
No,
because he doesn't like the troops.
I think they were definitely hallucinating. Definitely hallucinatory dreams.
Can you see? You see, Ben, you're disrespecting the flag.
Why do you hate our troops, Ben?
Wow.
But no, we do have some spicy things we got to talk about when it comes to Bigfoot. This is stuff that I've been wanting to get off of my chest for a while when it comes to Bigfoot. All right,
Josiah's got feelings.
Before we get into this, I want to let's kind of establish some interesting facts.
Facts about Bigfoot. I want to
get into this.
All right.
Yeah. Do you know
the Muffin Man?
In 2020, Oklahoma City broke the top 10 for most reported Bigfoot sightings?
Really?
Yeah.
Probably because nobody lives in Oklahoma, Mike.
That doesn't make any sense, Ben.
No, that does make sense because Bigfoot would want to be where there's the least amount of people, right?
Bigfoot doesn't want to be where the people are.
But yet there's more sightings, so nobody lives there, so there's more sightings.
That makes sense to me.
It makes sense because there's less people, so obviously he'd show up more, so the few people that are there would be more likely to see him because he's there where there's less people.
Right.
I think that makes sense if you think about it.
Let's use math here, okay? Oklahoma,
I don't want to hear you guys talk to me about math or science ever.
Bigfoot.
I had to spend an entire episode screaming at you about bees, and then I had to sit there and you're like, I don't believe that whales and hippos are actually, I don't know that science holds up. I'm like, go talk to the experts. Don't talk to me about it.
Yeah, because we should always trust the experts.
I'm going to be honest, though. I was a little wrong. Oklahoma's population's like 3.9 million, which is more than places like Arkansas.
So you just proved that you're wrong.
I think, doesn't Wyoming have the least?
Wyoming has the smallest population. Wyoming.
I think it's Wyoming.
It's like 500,000.
None of that I have right here.
So where are the Bigfoot sightings from Wyoming, then?
The states with the most sightings of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Washington.
Washington
Oregon.
State. Okay. All right.
Okay.
West Virginia.
Country home.
Idaho.
Wow. Take me home.
Montana.
Okay.
And here's really interesting. The states with the fewest sightings.
Yeah.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
Nevada.
Okay.
Probably because of the deserts.
Yeah. True.
Rhode Island.
Who wants to be in there?
Because
the desert.
Nobody wants to live in Rhode Island.
It's an island the size of Walmart.
Yep. Connecticut and Delaware.
Okay.
So basically what you're telling me is Bigfoot doesn't like the East Coast.
That's what it kind of sounds like.
That's kind of what it sounds like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rude. And he likes the West Coast, from what I'm hearing. If he likes Washington State.
There's a lot of big trees and stuff.
Yeah, it does make sense. There's a lot of forests out there and stuff.
There's forests on the East Coast, too. It's just but not the same.
Yeah, it's just not.
I guess. Maybe he likes the rain. It's rainy out west.
You want to hear something really crazy?
What's that?
What?
Let's see here. This is in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
8. Michigan is number 8. There are 2.2 Bigfoot sightings per 100,000 people.
All right. Where's the video evidence then?
Of what? Of the statistics for reported Bigfoot sightings?
No, the actual Bigfoot sightings. I mean, like, everybody has access to cameras. The same thing we talked about with Nessie, Michael.
Ben, listen. I'm just telling you what the stats say, Ben. If you want to argue with the stat people, you know go find them and argue with them.
The stats also probably said that hippos and whales are related, and you know what I think about that. So, hippos.
You already proven that your science is completely flawed. You said Taco Bell was bad.
Dude,
nobody believes anything you say anymore.
Said that my population. I never said that my science was good.
You guys are out of control. Josiah. What were you going to say? I just wanted to start that out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate those facts.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah.
I mean, where does Michigan rank on that list?
It was number...
He just said it. Wait, I thought it was 8.
8.
8?
7 or 8.
Oh, you changed your story,
That's pretty high. That's pretty high, actually.
Yeah, Michigan actually has a higher population than most of the other places that
I do have a story of someone that I know who encountered Bigfoot, apparently.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us. We love to hear it.
So he's a pastor. So
okay.
And he so this was so it's kind of like a 2-part story.
Okay.
This was when he was a kid. He lived up in the UP, and he one day he was home alone. His family was like out to town or something like that or whatever. And his grandpa was walking around the house or something somewhere, but
I thought you said he was home alone.
Well, it was him and his grandpa or whatever.
Oh, okay. Right.
So, but the rest, like his mom and dad and everyone else, were gone. So he was like playing outside, and as he was playing outside, suddenly he felt like there was something that was like watching him from like the trees. And when he like turned around and looked, he saw like a giant man standing kind of in the trees, like watching him and stuff.
Sounds like a pedophile to me.
At first, he thought it was his grandpa, which hopefully his grandpa wouldn't be a pedophile for him or anything.
I hope not.
But and then so he thought it was his grandpa, so he started to walk towards this creature, whatever you want to say about it. And as he started to walk towards it, the thing started to like back up further into the woods and stuff. And then eventually it just kept on backing up until eventually just like turned around and walked back to the woods and stuff. And he said that it stunk That was one of the things that he remembers about it, was that
yeah.
it stunk. And so basically then I think it was a couple of winters later, his dad apparently saw a Bigfoot as well. So he was it was in the wintertime, and there was like a ton of snow and stuff, and the snow was just like super thick. And when his dad was outside like plowing or something like that, he looked over and he sees like this dark shaped man figure that was like bigger than a man, just like plowing through the snow with his feet and stuff, like walking through it like it was nothing. And the snow was like waist deep for his dad, but for like this figure, this man, it was like up to like his knees or something like that. And he was just like walking through it like it was nothing and stuff. And so he said that it was like a dark, hairy figure and stuff. And yeah, so that's their stories about living up in the UP and apparently seeing Bigfoot.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, if you were to see something like Bigfoot in Michigan, the UP would be the place to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Just because like in terms of like, yeah, I was going to say that's probably the most like somewhere like Washington State in terms of like here in Michigan. So that would make sense to me. But another, like, I mean, I can't count it as like wrong, but what if there was just like some crazy forest guy that was like a Bayorn type person who's like, I don't know, 9 feet tall and really hairy or something?
Wait. Are you admitting the giants are real?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. So the giants exist or Bigfoot
Interesting.
Exist. You know what? Things have changed in the last, long time.
That means we got to do another giant episode.
But maybe it could be like a big hairy man that just lives in the UP,
giant.
Yeah,
giant.
Just,
who can walk through the snow like that.
But also,
super stinky.
it could be an ape man.
Yeah.
Yep, it's either Bigfoot or a giant, Ben. Which one is it?
But you want to hear? Okay, I have some stories that are even more crazy.
Oh,
okay?
snap! Let's go.
These aren't personal stories.
Okay.
These are actual historical accounts.
Okay.
About Bigfoot. Okay. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
So, over 170 years ago, the Arkansas wild man terrified residents of that state, Arkansas. The first published report in 1846 claimed a footprint was discovered in East Arkansas that measured 22 inches. So that's the first story. But then it gets even crazier, okay? In 1851, so this was a long time ago. This was before anything when it comes to Bigfoot started to, be like a cultural thing,
Right.
The Vermont Watchman and State Journal reported that 2 men were hunting in Greene County, Arkansas, when they saw something bearing the unmistakable likeness of humanity chasing a herd of cattle. He was of gigantic stature, the body being covered with hair, and the head with long locks that fairly enveloped his neck and shoulders. The creature stopped and stared at them for a few moments and then ran into a patch of woods with great speed, leaping from 12 to 14 feet at a time. And so that was something that was published in a newspaper about the wild man of Arkansas.
Interesting.
But that's not the end of it.
Oh.
So, the wild man. Many local residents believe the wild man was a human survivor of the great 1811 to 1812 New Madrid earthquake that had churned. So those are just speculations of what people had. But there's other stories. So there's a Mississippi wild man as well that appeared 12 years later after the wild man story from Arkansas. So this it was apparently a similar creature that had been seen near Vicksburg in the let me see if I can get. Okay, so basically there was a hunter with his dogs and stuff, and he was out hunting. And they were following their dogs. They were hot on the trail of an unknown animal when they discovered a footprint in the mud. It appeared similar to the track of a human foot, and they observed also that the toes of one foot turned backward, which is weird. But when the dogs finally bayed their prey, the men beheld a frightful-looking creature of about the average height of a man, but of far greater muscular development, standing menacingly in front of the dogs. It had long hair flowing from its head, reaching to its knees. Its entire body also seemed to be covered with hair of 2 to 3 inches in length, which was of a dark brown color. From its upper jaw projected 2 very large tusks, several inches long. The wild man ran towards the Mississippi River when the men advanced, but the dogs once again bayed him at the river bank. When the dogs attacked, it reached forward and grabbed one of them, pressed it against its tusks, pierced it through, and killed it instantly. The hunters fired several shots, and the creature jumped into the river and remained submerged for several minutes. Suddenly, it surfaced, uttering shrieks, which almost petrified the pursuers with terror. No similar sound had ever come from the ears of the men, who were all familiar with the howl of the wolf, the whine of the panther, and the hoarse bellowing of the alligator. After sinking and rising several times, it swam to the other shore and disappeared.
Well, dang.
The interesting thing about that is that there's a lot of reports that are common with Bigfoot that say that it makes like a weird shrieking noise.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So what do you say about that, Ben?
Yeah, what do you think about that, Ben?
I don't know, man. I mean,
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy stuff. Like, no, these are like historical records from like 1850s, from like the 1850s.
Interesting. Now, did they like all those records disappear after the 1800s, or was there like stuff from the 1900s?
That's a good question. I mean, well, this is kind of something interesting. Apparently, Teddy Roosevelt also had, he had a friend who had a dealing with a Bigfoot, apparently, as well.
Oh.
So,
Interesting.
the man himself, Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Who never lies. Or does anything
never
like
lied
that.
in his life.
So, apparently, his friend told a story so he described his friend as a grizzled, weather-beaten old mountain hunter. So according to his friend, and another man who were hunting and trapping beaver, they discovered that they were being stalked by a creature they thought was a bear. And then Roosevelt writes that the creature ransacked their camp while they were gone, and the next day, while they were away, it broke his companion's neck. So his friend, who was utterly unnerved and believed that the creature with which he had to deal with was something either half human or half devil, some great goblin beast, abandoned everything but his rifle and struck off at speed down the pass until beyond reach of pursuit. So that's his story of the Bigfoot as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My question is,
Yes.
we always think of like Bigfoot as like an ape person,
Yeah.
but like, to me, it sounds like, once again, it sounds like a human, like almost like a human hybrid. It almost sounds like, from some of these stories you're telling, it sounds to me like how certain people have like portrayed orcs in fantasy, almost in some way, like similar ways to that, but like really hairy. I don't know. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting, but I don't know. Or like goblins or something. I don't know.
Hairy
sounds
orcs.
Hairy orcs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hairy orcs.
That's what they are.
But yeah, like humanoid looking, but also, not human.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at like gorillas and stuff, like they will kind of do similar things to like villages that are like near their
Right.
place, their inhabitants or whatever and stuff too.
Right. So is this like just a giant ape?
Maybe.
I mean, maybe.
Or maybe it's like a remnant of like Neanderthal or something like that too.
Yeah. Could
Maybe.
be. I mean, I think the fact is there's been a lot of sightings of this, and some of them feel like, people chasing ideas, and others sound like people legitimately having an experience,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and the thing that I think is interesting is, the fact that they are a lot more on the West Coast. So there's like a consistency to the sightings on that side of the United States. We know that there's a lot of forests, big trees. We also know that it's near Alaska and it's colder, like, up in the northern areas. So there's probably less people around there. And also, if they had migrated there at some point because of the climate, it would make sense that, we wouldn't see a whole lot of them.
Right. I wonder if there's any like Canadian stories of Bigfoot.
That's a good point. You want to hear something really interesting?
Yeah.
This is from 2021, August 13th.
Oh, snap.
Apparently, there was there have been multiple sightings in the Upper Peninsula, like Ben said, of Bigfoot.
Oh.
And there's a guy named Richard Meyer. He's the founder and organizer of the Upper Peninsula Bigfoot Sasquatch Research Organization, UPSBRO.
All right.
That's how we're going to pronounce it.
Sounds good.
And apparently he said that there are like there are a lot of sightings that they've had around there that they said that they found footprints. And then sometimes people have seen multiple Bigfoot like clustered together. And that they've even been seen as far down south as Detroit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I
And then
think
they
it's
said that the
interesting.
reason that nobody has any photos is that typically they're so fast, by the time you know that one's around, they're usually gone.
Very elusive. Very elusive.
Something I find interesting. I just found this article here. So I guess like normally it just says Sasquatch is variably described as a primate ranging from 6 to 15 feet tall, standing erect on 2 feet, often giving off a foul smell, which is what you mentioned from that one story, moving silently or emitting a high-pitched cry. Footprints have been measured up to 24 inches in length and 8 inches in width.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's at least from the accounts of like the person you knew.
Yeah.
That's checks off pretty much all of those things.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
know?
mean, and even like the stories of like the hunters from like the 1850s, like they
Right.
also described that type of cry as well.
Yeah,
Which is
really
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think that'd be horrifying. Like,
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah. Yep.
Frick that. Nah, if I ever see that thing, I'm just dying right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, let's go hunt Bigfoot.
Let's not
Apparently,
do
there's
that.
somebody in 2021 uploaded a video of a Bigfoot that they claim to have seen crossing the Cass River in Michigan.
Really?
Yeah, it's got like 1.1 million views.
Are you
Although
watching
the
it right now?
video is like really clear, but the Sasquatch is supposed to be far off. But I'm gonna be honest, it looks like a guy just crossing the river. But the fact is, if this guy is crossing the river, he's either crossing a really shallow part of the river, or he's really tall. Which once again is still odd that like they keep seeing these really tall people hiding out in the woods.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a little weird.
It is a little weird.
You know, tall, hairy people in the woods.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, we love it.
something, you know, maybe we should be a little bit invested in, I guess.
Well, you know, because here's a crazy theory. What if certain people out in the woods, like, what if that's a thing? We know that, like, what if, you know, there's like a group of people that live out in the woods and live off the land and stuff and have gone like almost feral. So
Right.
there's like feral human beings, and maybe that's, you know, the way that they've grown over the years or something, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
there are
It's true.
crazy, it's crazier, or it's not as crazy as saying that there's like some mythical creature living out in the woods.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, there's like the dogmen and all that stuff too. So,
Yeah.
but you know,
Go
maybe
and give us-
dogmen they're baby Bigfoots
Maybe.
No.
or something.
Oh no, we're gonna do
But
a whole
I
episode
mean, but
about
these
that.
people,
We're gonna
these
do more
people
about
didn't
that
mention
dog man.
anything about them looking canine at all.
No,
That's true.
no.
The dog
So-
man sounds much scarier. I'd rather run into a Bigfoot.
Dogman
Yeah.
sounds awful.
Apparently, we also had one. We've had one this year. One of the bigger like sightings in 2022. There's some guy that said he saw one off the highway in Ohio.
Oh,
Like he was driving, he said he saw one, and they said that they've actually found, like, that's been the more common area is like to sight them. According to 2022, there have been 315 Bigfoot sightings in Ohio, ranking it 5th in the nation.
oh wow.
13 of these have been recent glimpses in Richland and Ashland counties, with a park ranger in Pleasant Hill claiming to see the creature in 2022. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The question that I have is, why is Bigfoot avoiding us so much? No?
Maybe Bigfoot doesn't want to have anything to do with people.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
imagine it's extremely intelligent, like almost the intelligence of a human, but feral. So its instinct is to stay away from us, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and then like we've talked about this before, there's a lot of theories that, you know, when we like evolved or whatever from like the cavemen, or like as some of us grew out of like being cavemen and got smart and learned how to use tools, that we killed all the cavemen off. That's like a theory that people have. You know, what if there's like a memory there, like almost like an ancestral memory of like, hey, these guys killed us the last time we engaged with them, you know, like the less hairy smarter ones killed us all. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Could be some sort of weird ancient race or something that,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? Because, there's obviously, I mean, we find all these, like, really crazy human skulls over the world and stuff. And,
Yeah, we do.
There's maybe that's some sort of connection with this Bigfoot race or something like that as well.
It's a good point.
I mean, a lot of those skulls are big too that they find. Like Dragon Man's skull is huge.
Yeah. And we were like, what is that all about?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we always assume it's one thing, but it could be something totally different, you know?
Right.
Real quick, I wanted to share another. This was from 2021.
Yeah.
And what's weird enough is, okay, so like we had one crossing the river in Michigan. This one is cited. This is in Cass County in Illinois. So another Illinois one. Apparently there's a guy driving on Route 78, and he said it hit the shoulder of the road, looked back at him, and he said to himself, effing Bigfoot. And then let me see what he said. So yeah, there's apparently like a lot of reports about around that specific area and in that county and a couple like closer counties of a large ape-like man, 6 to 15 feet, walking upright, constantly emitting a high-pitched noise.
There it is.
Yep. And he said that he was driving about 10:30 and he's heading north, and he said, I saw a large animal jump into the road about 40 yards ahead. When it hit the road, I could see very large legs spread wide in a dead run, with large swinging hairy arms. The arms switched back and forth close to the ground as his body was leaning forward. It leapt across the road in 2 jumps, which we just were reading that they could leap really far. Yep.
Yeah.
He said it was about 2 seconds before the creature vanished into the darkness. He said, I could see it clearly. It was very large, and even though it was hunched over nearly horizontal, it was so close to being wider than my car and nearly to the top of my windshield, it blocked out the lights of a car ahead. He recalled it having shiny black hair and a huge stride. Yeah.
Interesting. That's the weird thing, is that all of these stories have so much commonality.
Right.
That's the weird part about it.
Yeah. He said he pulled over to the road and texted his wife about what happened. And he said he told a coworker about it, and the coworker, instead of making fun of him, said, hey, there's a lot of stories about clan of Bigfoot living in the area. There have been multiple sightings by hunter, fishermen, and barge operators.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. It's kind of crazy. So, yeah. Apparently there were unexplained tracks found in 1991, and then there have been 13 sightings since 1976 in a neighboring county.
So, what part of Michigan would this be in?
This is in Illinois.
Oh,
Illinois. This is in Cass
Yep.
County, Illinois.
Okay.
But I just thought that was interesting that the Bigfoot crossing the Michigan River.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Crazy
It
stuff.
is crazy. Yeah, because that's the name of the river is Cass River. But that's in Michigan. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And we haven't even gotten to like there's a whole bunch of like crazy stuff about like, FBI getting involved with Bigfoot stuff and all sorts of stuff like that too that we haven't even gotten to as well, but yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean,
well, we might have to do more episodes on Bigfoot because there's a lot.
Might have to.
We're gonna have to do more episodes on Bigfoot.
There's a
lot here.
It's insane.
Yeah,
and that's the thing that I find the most interesting is like always when you start to see like historical records about these types of things that line up with a lot of the reports from today about the same types of creatures and stuff. It's really hard to find to really deny that. At least it's you have to admit that there's got to be something out there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and you know that there's going to be fake stories, but fake stories don't dismiss what could have been real sightings too.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we know that there's always a consistency to these apparent sightings. You know?
Yeah, and I think like we talked about multiple times, like it's never, I think, healthy to completely just do away with like an idea or something, because you never know. Like
you never know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ben's right.
You know?
You know what he's not right about? Taco Bell.
Well, I mean, that's debatable.
No,
But-
it's not. It's Taco Bell's delicious.
I mean, it is. It is. Ben, admit it. Taco Bell's delicious.
It is good when you need it, but it's trash.
Wow. That's not correct.
Yikes. Yikes.
I apologize
Yeah.
for Ben's wrong opinion on Taco Bell. Yeah.
So,
What can I say?
You can
I
say
just
it's not
had I
trash.
just had like a weird like epiphany with Bigfoot.
Oh, snap.
So
Crackle
we might have to
info.
do a little bit more digging into this.
Yeah.
I'm very
I don't
curious
like
to
this
see if
idea.
there's any like Bigfoot type of reports coming from like, you know, like I don't know, like maybe like Central America or something.
Hmm.
Because I was thinking, Bigfoot. What if Bigfoot is like in the north, and you have like the weird lizard people, behemoth or not behemoth, Nephilim people in like the warmer climates and stuff.
Maybe.
And what if there's like a weird like clash thing going on there?
There
you
might
know?
be. Yeah. You
Like-
never know.
Oh, like
Bigfoot
maybe
clashing.
at some point there was like, you know, these lizard people and these, because we know that they probably live now down deep in the earth.
Yeah.
But at one point, you know, it was a lot warmer.
So
Yeah.
basically,
Maybe lizard people are terrified of Bigfoot.
what you're saying is
Or
it
maybe
is just Godzilla versus Kong after all.
Oh my gosh! They've been telling us this entire time. They're trying to speak to us.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. That's the
who
answer
they
right
are
there.
is
That's the answer right
Holy
there.
crap! My mind is blown.
yeah.
That's the answer right there.
Well,
Wow!
we did it. We figured it out.
What a
We
what a
cracked
nice
the case.
What a
We
nice
figured
way
it
to
out.
just neatly just tie a bow around this entire thing. Ah,
Yeah.
Perfection.
I love it. So good.
It's almost as delicious as Taco Bell.
Mike, it sounds to me like you
Almost.
really want Taco Bell right now.
No, I don't want Taco Bell right now, but it
That's
sounds
because it's trash.
No, it's because I'm not hungry, but I would eat it if I was hungry. I would get Taco Bell immediately.
If someone offered their taco to you, would you eat it right now?
Depends on what kind it is.
Well,
Or maybe a burrito? You know,
I mean,
either
yeah,
way,
it
you
depends
know?
on what kind it is, I guess. Yeah.
well,
you know, whatever you're into, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Uh-huh.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
so with that being said, that is going to be our very, very epic Bigfoot episode. This is our second one I think we've done. I think we've only done 2 Bigfoot episodes,
Yeah,
which is
we
kind of
have.
crazy. We need
Yeah.
to do more of these because there's so much crazy stuff out there about Bigfoot.
There's
So,
just, in general, a lot of good cryptozoology stuff.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. The fountain will never run dry. Let me tell you that. So,
Facts.
if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. And if you're listening to us on your favorite audio podcast platform, then please leave a review. We'd appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. And we'll catch you all in the next episode. Bye.